Hey, welcome aboard the Menorcan Mullet. We're out at the wreck site today. Our first attempt to go live and bring some of this uh, salvage operation to you guys so you can see it firsthand. Behind me, you can see the VB10,000 working on the Golden Ray, and they are actually cutting right now. Every now and then you'll hear a pop or a bang coming from the hull of the Golden Ray as the chain is pulling through the hull and breaking through the metal. You'll hear that kind of go on. Yesterday we went out fishing yesterday, and when we got back in, the site just there was some activity going on that just didn't look ordinary to us. And we've been coming out here every day and kind of watching things. Something didn't look right, and we found an oil slick that was coming from the wreck site. And this is really the first time that we've ever seen any of the contaminants get out of the environmental barrier. Even when they were separating the first bow section, they were prepared and had a lot of boats on scene. But the guys were there, environmental crews, and doing a heck of a job getting everything picked up that they could see, anything that was floating and any oil on the surface of the water. There was some discharge, but they were able to handle it right away. And the time to get that is right at the source. You know where it's coming from. It's easy, a lot easier to contain it before it has a chance to spread out over across the water. And yesterday, not really sure what was going on. We didn't really see a lot of environmental boats out here. And that was a shame, because when it happened, they probably could have gotten out here and dealt with it really quick and been able to mitigate it. Today, as we're right here at tide change, so we'll probably swing against the tide here momentarily, but a lot of environmental boats out on the, as the tide is turning now, they're on the inshore or west side of the gate, working that funnel area where everything comes out, and really staying on top of things. And we hope, and this is, we hope that in the future going forward, the operation sees the need to have these boats on station whenever they're engaged in any kind of cutting. They need to have these guys out on station, just for the unknown. There are so many unknowns going on out here. First time this VB10,000 has been used to cut a ship. First time that the cutting, I guess, has taken place in such shallow water. A lot of unknown factors. It's a very fluid situation, if you will. And we hope that was maybe another learning experience for the guys that are overseeing the operation, and that the boats are out and ready to be deployed. Now, that said, today we did make a trip over the mainland, and while we were on the St. Simons Causeway going across, they had environmental boats that were in the estuaries. They had oil booms in the marsh, looking for whatever oil they could find, and trying to get that policed up. And that made my heart feel good that that they're out there and getting the job done. They got an incredible group of guys they've assembled here for this task, and it's a monumental task. Massive amounts of weight and physics and engineering that go into this operation to make this happen. And we're really anticipating seeing this ship gone. It's a beach junkyard right now in the St. Simon Sound, and this estuary is the lifeblood for so much marine life across the globe. The effects that this food chain serves on the entire ocean is massive, and it needs to be protected. And I think they really understand that, and they're doing whatever efforts that they can do to try to mitigate it. It was sad to see yesterday that that happened, and we don't know what happened. We don't know if it was something they cut through the ship. Could have been a problem with the VB-10,000 itself. A lot of hydraulic systems and engine systems on that ship to make the work go. So we don't know. It could have been a situation where they had a mechanical failure aboard the VB. Not sure. We haven't heard anything. That's one of the most frustrating things about this operation to me, and why we started this. Is, I'm not out here to hang anybody or shut the operation down. It's never been my intention. I want to document this operation. This is happening in my home. Certainly never seen anything like this. No one has. It's the first time it's ever been done like this. And I wanted to bring this to unbelievable the amount of response I've had for people that are interested in this operation. Originally, I thought there might be 20 or 30 people that live on the island that might find it interesting and tune into it every now and then. But it didn't take long to see that people were really interested in the operation. And me, I guess like me, fascinated about what they saw and wanted to watch and see it. And the Unified Command, the group that's charged with press releases and the overall operation, I guess there are a lot of federal folks over there, Coast Guard being one of them. And they're supposed to be out here, I guess, kind of coordinating, overseeing the operation. And we do see some of the Coast Guard personnel on some of the environmental boats from time to time. We see their insignia on their life jackets, the U.S. Coast Guard. So we know those folks are out here. Really not sure what the role is. Maybe they're simply observers. But there's a lot of people involved in this operation, and it was kind of rough to see what happened yesterday happen. There's going to be problems, we know that, but when there are mitigation capabilities that are available and they weren't deployed right away, kind of bothered me a little bit. This is my home. I enjoy recreation here in this water. I go to the beach that's half a mile away. Just don't want to see this kind of stuff going on when you know that they can be. There could be a good bit of prevention in allowing those contaminants to get out on the water. Now, we're going to try to take a look and see. I know a lot of guys and folks that are tuning in here for this operation might be interested in seeing or asking questions. This being our first time going live, we're going to try to see if there are any comments. Any luck flying the drone? No. Got a denial again today, at least not near the site. And that's another thing that kind of bothers me a little bit about the operation. I'm a licensed FAA licensed drone pilot, and I try to play by the rules, do things as safely as they can be done, and I thought I had worked it out where I was. There's still drones being flown off of the beach from St. Simons and Jekyll, and they're flying illegal, and they're flying over the ship and doing everything. We never flew the drone over the ship. We tried to stay away from all the vessels. We didn't want to hamper any part of this operation. We want to see this thing gone. We want this ship out of our sound. And again, I'm just trying to bring the story out. And the lack of transparency, to me, is appalling that a federal agency is lying. They're trying to protect themselves, and I get that. I understand that. There's been some lawsuits that have been over this thing between some competing groups. TNT won out here, and they're the guys out here doing the salvage. But no luck flying the drone. Continue to get denials. So, it is what it is. Well, as far as transparency goes, I try to. I'm just trying to bring the story out to the people. I I really I don't take sides in the thing. I really don't. I try to be as neutral as I can. I'm just trying to show folks in other places what's going on here. It's not every day that people have a cargo ship roll over in their backyard, and what's happened here, and it's the whole process. It's a massive machine to make this thing go. There's so many moving pieces and parts, and I'm not talking about the VB. I'm talking about the support structure that's around for making the boats go, housing for the personnel, the things that have been done in the port to try to make ready for pieces and parts of the ship as it's salvaged, coordination with towing operations. We saw that with Crosby and their tug operation with the Julie B. With Crowley. It's just massive, just very, very impressive. I'm not sure how long this second cut is going to take. It looks to me like they are making pretty good headway from where they started. They had quite a bit of time to prep not only the VB 10,000, but also do some pre-drilling, some work to try to make the procedure go a little faster. I think that's kind of paying off for them. We see that's really working well. The unknown for me right now is when the ship is, this next cut is taken away and the stern section is taken away and the ship is opened up. The car carrier vessel by nature is open. It has to be for it to be loaded and unloaded in an efficient manner once vehicles arrive or depart a port. That said, once two ends of this ship are cut off, it's really going to be an open tube with thousands of cars in it that have been turned upside down on their sides, on their ends. There was a fire when the ship turned over, so they've been through probably some significant heat damage. We don't know what kind of lines were ruptured or broken and where those contaminants are. And if it's going to take another month for them to get this thing cut, at least possibly, and I don't know why this wasn't brought in, maybe some sort of netting, metal fencing or something over the end of the thing to at least try to keep some of the solids, some of the plastics and trim pieces that we've seen wash up on the beach and getting caught in some of our trawler, commercial trawling nets. Try to keep that stuff contained as much as they can inside of the environmental barrier. There is a fence that's around the ship in that environmental barrier as part of that system, but it's a 5-foot grid. It's small enough to hold a car in, but to see it, smaller pieces of this debris as we've seen it, it is scattered out on the currents and ends up in so many different places, and that's unfortunate. When I think there could have been a way to at least try to arrest some of that, where they didn't have quite as much getting out into the open areas. Another thing, the trawl. I don't know what happened to the trawl boats. They had some boats that were on contract with a 4-inch mesh net to try to catch some of that debris. And we haven't seen those boats. Those boats are tied to the dock in Brunswick the last time we checked, and they've been over there since cutting completed on the first section. And again, I don't understand that. It seems like if you know where the source of the debris is, right here, it seems that trawling around that area would be the best way to mitigate that debris from spreading out onto the beaches. Just my thoughts. You know, I'm not a marine engineer. Man, I would just hate to be stepping out of my boat on the beach and step on a door panel that's been floating around for a year or so and be covered with oysters and barnacles and step on it and cut my foot. Those are the kind of things that I'm concerned with the wreck site. Yeah, cutting both ends is certainly, you know, I understand the reasoning why they did it. The bow and the stern section were not supported. The erosion had taken the sand from underneath those areas of the ship, so they didn't have any support. And I can understand the necessity of cutting the ends off of it to add stability at midship for the rest of the duration of the salvage operation. But again, why they haven't come up with a better plan for trying to corral that debris is beyond me. It seems like it would be a little bit of engineering involved with it, but something that could certainly be done with metal netting or mesh netting, maybe even some sort of heavy plastic netting that could be put on the ship, secured to try to hold some of that debris inside of the vessel while the rest of the ship was being cut. Yeah. No, I'm not going to fly the drone illegally. I think that's asking for a lot of problems, and to me, it's I'm not going to do anything that's illegal. I'm trying to be above board with everything. I'm not trying to sneak around. I'm not out here in the still of night stealthily trying to get in and find a story. No, that's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just trying to bring this operation to light and what's going on here. And yes, they are cutting right now. Spin around and take a look. Yeah, the chains are tight, and occasionally, I don't know if you can hear it over me, but occasionally you'll hear a pop or a bang, and that's the telltale sign that chain is getting pulled by a piece of metal and breaking through it. And we saw in that bow section, you know, it's not just the hull of the ship, it's all those decks that are in there as well that they have to cut through. A lot of material that the chain has to go through when it's cutting. Oh, somebody wants to know about the boat. Well, I'll be happy to share a little information about the boat. The Minorca Mullet's a 2003 Parker Pilot House. It's a 2120, model 2120. She's powered by a 200 horsepower Yamaha. It is weather friendly, if you will. I mean, it's got a little berthing area, and we've actually stayed out on the boat a couple times here while the cutting process was going on. If you saw the video where the bow section separated, we were anchored up out on the ship with the cameras and catching a quick nap while that was going, and the cameras were still rolling. But she's quite comfortable. Fiberglass construction and a lot of cockpit room in the 2120, and it really makes for a nice platform for doing what we're doing out here, bringing these videos to you guys. She's got radar, a couple GPSs on it, chart capabilities, VHF radio, and waiting for some of this air traffic to clear. We're right in over here on this west side of the wreck is the main approach for the St. Simons Airport, and get a lot of air traffic. It is very busy airport on this west side. any of you pilots out there know she's a left-hand approach, so you're turning left coming in here. Not really as much traffic out over the wreck site. Everything's left, so the traffic mainly is west of here with the runway 04, and that's our predominant wind here is out of the northeast 04, and most of our traffic that is here is back over to the west, comes in, makes a left-hand turn for the final approach into McKinnon. Is that enough about the boat? I hope so. If it wasn't enough, send us. We'll get to try to get some more comments on it. Oh yeah. Hey Ben, the old slick. We haven't seen anything on the old slick today. For those of you that just got in, there are a lot of environmental boats out here. I don't know if they are in the camera way over that way, but a lot of environmental boats are out here, skimmer boats, as well as boom boats. They're out working, monitoring. I don't really see a lot of activity. I think whatever the problem was they had yesterday, I think they've rectified it. Hopefully we won't see that again. It's just, at the worst time for us is to have that happen on an incoming tide, where that oil gets into the estuary and into the marsh. That's where the majority of the life spawn is in the sound, is up in the marsh area, up in the fingerlings of the creeks and rivers. It was on that incoming tide, it was just heading right that way. It was pretty sad to see. All right, as close as I can get to the wreck. Well, when the operation started, they had a 150-yard safety zone around the environmental barrier, and they've extended that out to 200 yards. And what we do to stay on the safe side when we're doing our pass by is, because we do have radar on the boat, we set the radar at an eighth of a mile, and with that, we stay off of an eighth of a mile. It gives us a little bit of cushion for the 200 yards, and we stay out of their safety zone. We don't want to get in there and cause any problems, and we certainly don't want to get in anyone's way. We want these guys to be able to work and do what they've got to do to get this ship out of here. So we certainly try to stay outside of that safety zone, and to my knowledge, I've never breached it. I've always stayed out of the environmental the safety zone for the environmental barrier, just to keep everybody happy. We don't want to see anybody getting upset. Had enough of that. Got a question here about the positioning of the ship relative to the tide, to the current. The tide flows in and out this way, so the ship is actually with a slight angle perpendicular to the current. That's why I've had so much trouble with erosion underneath it. Much like if you go to the beach and the waves run up and you stand there with your foot on the back side of your foot, when the wave washes back out, the sand is washed away from the back of your foot. That's exactly what's happened out here with the ship, and that happened predominantly over the bow and the stern section. Now, they did bring some ballast stones. There's some rocks that they brought out here early in the operation. They put that in, and that's helped to stabilize the ship. Originally, go back and look at the first video I did, the day of the accident, the ship was tilted this way, and it has slowly tilted this way. But the stones, the ballast stones, the rocks they put in, helped to arrest some of that and stopped the ship. It's very, you can imagine the importance of having a stable ship if you're cutting it with an anchor chain. And the stones have certainly, I think, helped with that to arrest the movement of the ship. We just don't know how long it's going to take. Originally, we were told it was going to be a day, a 24-hour period to make a cut, and we saw that just didn't work out. They're moving a lot faster this time. Hopefully, it won't take that long with the pre-work that they did. So we'll see. Time will tell. Again, it's a fluid situation. You can't underscore that enough. A lot of things change, and I think if there's going to be one thing that comes out of this thing, it's in TNT or from TNT's operation. It's how readily they are able to meet the challenges and come up with a solution in order to progress the salvage. It's how quickly can they problem solve. Problems are going to develop. Yeah, and they are cutting. Again, it's every now and then we'll hear a bang, pop. I don't know if you guys can see in the area right here, but the chains coming down from the ship are tight. So that's an indicator that they are cutting. Hey, got some folks from South Carolina checking. Beautiful day here in coastal Georgia. A few clouds in, but really just a sun-drenched day from some pretty chilly temperatures we had just a couple days ago. What a really nice day it's turned out to be. Again, I really want to appreciate the folks who have sent words of condolence to my family for the passing of my mother. It's been a tough time. She had the virus and was in the hospital for 59 days. Came home, got her home for a week, and then had more problems and had to go back to the hospital. We did enjoy that time where we got to see her at home for the week. It was kind of a special time. It's a difficult time. Mom was a native on St. Simons. Her family had been here probably more than 200 years. My family, and she'll certainly be missed by this entire community. That's for sure. But thank you very much. Have we seen the barge yet to get the stern? We haven't laid eyes on it. We understand that it is over in Brunswick. It is close by, near the Port of Brunswick has a couple different areas. One area that's closest to downtown that some of you may be familiar with, that you've seen in some of my videos, is more of a bulk material site for the Georgia Port Authority. The other section, which is just west of there a little bit more, is Colonel's Island, and Colonel's Island are where these guys go, where the roll-on, roll-off ships go into move vehicles. And we understand that the barge is positioned somewhere over there in that area. Maybe we'll have the opportunity to get over there and take a look at that barge and maybe get some videos of that. Am I going to be live from now on? Probably not. Well, this is just kind of a little special treat. It was a good day to be able to get out and do this. Some of the stuff we do is difficult to try to bring in a live situation. Just the ability to edit and be able to get some of the shots. We don't want to have to put you guys through an hour of a live shot to be able to look at some stuff that we see, when we can do that in just a few seconds and be able to bring that and comment about it. So I'm sure we'll be live some more. This is a new capability. I told everybody when we got to 1,000 viewers we were going to be able to go live. Well, YouTube, it's on their site, but apparently there's a delay. COVID has, they're not all working. There's some delays, we'll put it that way. We finally figured out that we could do it. We were, I guess somebody checked us out and said we were okay, and so here we are, and we're able to bring it to you. But we hope you're enjoying it. We hope that you can see some of this activity firsthand and kind of appreciate what's going on. And Ben wants to know, how do I know when you're on live? Well, this was kind of a quick thought for me. Doing this, I only gave folks about a 30-minute notice, but there should be some tabs on your YouTube page for setting your notifications, and you should be able to get a notification when, not only when we're going live, but when we've posted a new video or actually had a comment post or something like that. You should get a notification. And if you're a tech wizard and know exactly how to do that, you can even probably be able to put the theme to the intro on your phone when a notification comes off. You can get the Get Tough theme playing on your phone when the Menorcan mullet has a release. That would be something. I'd like to see that myself. Which car dealers are they taking the cars to? Well, that's an interesting question. The easy answer would be all of them, because it's rail cars as well as over-the-road tractor trailers that load these cars and take them to whatever dealership has ordered that particular car or needs that particular car. I did sell cars for about a month, but I really wasn't in the business long enough to understand the shipping and the receiving of the vehicles. But I know that those guys move cars through both the rail, through trains, as well as tractor trailers, and they do it with a great deal of frequency. This one had 4,000 cars on it, and that was one of the things about there was discussion about how the ship was loaded with the heavier tellurides being put up higher, increasing the center of gravity of the ship. That's another thing about the port. They may move stock, if you will, from place to place, from region to region, depending on demand. And I guess that's a manufacturer's decision when they make those kind of calls to move cars from one area to another. I'm just not sure. But yeah, they go out to dealerships all across the country from these ports. Well, yeah, we certainly appreciate the kind words. We're not a reporter. We're not a videographer. There's so many lists of things that I am not, that I'm actually doing in this operation, and we think that the product we put out is exactly that, informative. That's what we've tried to do. We just wanted to try to inform people what was going on here. We don't have an iron in the fire. We're not grinding an axe with anybody. This is going on in our backyard, and we thought this was worthy of sharing it with everyone else. And that's why we're here doing this. Well, we're going to go out and look for a little more oil, just to see. And I don't see anything going on, which would indicate any sort of leak. But we just for our own mind, we just want to go through and check and see if we see anything. So we will probably get underway and do that. We want to thank everybody for joining in today on this broadcast. If you happen to catch this thing and you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the channel. And you know, I love getting comments. I love to know not only what we're doing right, but things where we need to improve. I think that's critical to trying to bring people as much information. And folks may see something or want to see something that we haven't thought of, and we certainly enjoy getting the comments and hearing from folks. What I'd really like to try to find is someone that has more information on the VB, who may have actually been employed on this thing in the Gulf of Mexico, and could give us a little bit of information on the systems that are on it and how those systems are operated, electric over hydraulic, or electric hydraulic pumps. I have a lot of personal questions about the machine that I would like to kind of understand, and that would be really neat if we had some more information. We know that a lot of people tune into the channel because they have loved ones that are out here that are working on the project, and they are in this thing to completion, and they don't really have the opportunity to be able to show off what's going on with this. And so we hope that we've been able to maybe brighten someone's day where they can see with their eyes what their loved ones have been engaged in over here in the St. Simon Sound, and this massive project that's being undertaken. Well, yeah, we are. This is a beautiful day here on the St. Simon Sound. It's a lot like spring. You know, if the water temperature was just a little warmer, I might sail off in here and take a swim. It's a little cool right now, so I'm going to hold off on that for just a little bit. But the air, it's very pleasant, very nice out here. Well, I don't want to wear out my welcome. It is a real pleasure to be able to bring this story to you guys. We hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to comment. We'll try to answer some more. And if we get a good response to the live broadcast here, I understand that YouTube will put this up so people can look back at it again. We'll try to do some more and try to bring again. I just want to bring the story as we see it. It's a great day. Hey, thanks for joining us. You guys stay safe out there.